Guys,
I'm all good.
who is? I want to start this off just to start it off. All right, who's the real MVP? In my opinion, I think people are sleeping on what James Harden does because he's taken so many shots in his 30-point games. That streak ended last night, 28 points against Atlanta. I think that it's him and Paul George, the front runners, along with Giannis.
And let me tell you why you're wrong.
Oh, and Giannis too. I put those three up there.
And let me tell you why you're wrong.
With any of those three, with Harden, Anthony Cooper, or George?
No. I had my friend Underdog do some research. The last 20 years, the MVPs, only 2 or 3 guys have won the MVP when their team didn't have the best record. So if we're going for MVP now, it has to be Giannis. Houston is in 5th, and like Kenny and Chuck said, we always reward winning. Yes, he is doing remarkable things, but if you go with the history of how they vote for MVP, sometimes I never knew how they vote, the criteria for MVP, but one of the criteria is whoever's winning. And right now, Milwaukee has the best record out of all those guys that you have up there, so he's the front runner.
The year Nash won it over you, did they have a better record?
He was either first or second.
First or second?
It's only like one time a guy in 3rd place won, a couple of times got in second, but every other time, like 16, 17 times, the teams had the best record.
So it's going to be Durant then, because they may end up with the best record? And is that unfair that he plays with another MVP in Curry and another All-Star?
Well, is Durant in the discussion?
Well, I'm just saying out those 5 guys up there.
Was he up there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, again, here it is, and so out of those guys, Durant's team has the best record.
Yeah.
Jokic.
And me, it's...
I mean, Westbrook won MVP when they were 5th. I think they were 5th or 6th in the West.
My opinion, and I love all these guys up here, I got to go Antetokounmpo's 1, James Harden's 2, then Paul George is 3, and then KD, and then Jokic. I'm not the expert, but I'm just saying that's how it is so far.
BD, I like those 3 any way you do it. Anthony Cooper, Harden, and who was the 3rd one that we said? Anthony Cooper and Paul George. What do you guys think about the race?
I think that it's a great race. They're all deserving.
Yeah.
Either one can get it.
Yeah.
Right? When you start looking at, where their teams are positioned, what they mean to their team and the type of year that their teams are having. When I look at Giannis, I think that, because they are number 1 in the East and this is his breakout year, right? This is like, the show and prove that he is an MVP caliber. Harden, he was MVP last year. And I think that because of that, it was because they won, right?
Right.
The way that he played and the way that they won got him the MVP. And I think what Paul George is doing for OKC is what Harden was doing for Houston last year. So that's why I would put PG over Harden, even though he's having a remarkable year. But I think that PG on both sides of the ball is really, is neck and neck with Giannis.
Yeah, we don't get to vote.
I mean, Harden averaged 43 points in January. And it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying, can we put this in perspective? Because I think Russell Westbrook won MVP the year that they were 6 or 7 in the West because he had done something that had never been done since the Big O. Mm-hmm. But now you have a guy that took a Rockets team from the 10th place in the West.
Talk about it.
Has moved them back up into 4 and 5 slot.
Okay.
And you're not even mentioning, he's averaging 36 points per game.
Now, let me ask you this. What if people say it's because of the way he plays? Candace, you're right.
There's a lot of guys that can't play like that. It doesn't matter.
There's
a lot of guys that can't play like that and wouldn't put up the numbers that he's putting up, and they're winning.
BD?
I don't really have an argument, but when you look at it, James Harden plays in a system where the system is 100% catered towards him.
And Giannis doesn't.
Needs,
Giannis doesn't?
Right? Giannis has to work more inside of the system with other players. Giannis is
in the words of Charles Barkley,
Giannis is not the focal point. But Giannis is not, he's the focal point, but he's not necessarily the guy who has to do it like James. Every play that the Houston Rockets run is predicated on James Harden handling the ball.
And we've seen what happens when he doesn't
Which is
make
incredible.
those plays.
Which is incredible. He's having an incredible run. He's having an incredible year. The system is set up to where you can't guard somebody like James Harden in this system. All I'm saying is it's not going unnoticed. But when you look at somebody like Giannis and the work that he's put in with his team, with his leadership, with all the other things that he's doing, yes, Harden is doing incredible things scoring the basketball, but it ain't just about having 40 points, right? Kobe did it before. He broke some records, but it ain't about that. It's about how can I take my team, elevate my team? What do I mean to the league? What do I mean to the conference? All that, and on both sides of the game.